is a warning. Bitcoin is about to do something for the first time in its entire history. And the thing that it's about to do could impact the next several years. Not several months, but several years. In today's video, I'm going to share with you what Bitcoin is about to do and why it's so important. And also, nobody's talking about this. Literally, I haven't seen anybody discussing this, and it could be the most important thing of the next several years. If you're new here, my name is Steve. I started in the stock market a little over 20 years ago, back when I was just 16, and I just made every mistake in the book. It was horrific. Over the next 20 plus years, I learned how to dominate this game. And I'm here with you, sharing that knowledge with you, so you don't have to go through all of the heartaches, headaches, turmoil, and stress that I had to go through. We've been in crypto since 2017 right here on this channel, and our main focus is to help you use your crypto to gain financial freedom. Hit that subscribe button right now. We're going to jump into this chart, the log growth curves, and there's something major going on right here that we've got to discuss. I have some good news and some bad news. We'll start with the bad news, then we'll get to the good news, and then we'll end the video with what my honest opinion is on what's happening. But the good news and bad news is just purely based on the facts and the charts. Not what I think is going to happen or hope is going to happen. We don't play those games on this channel. It's straight to the facts with the facts and the charts. So we'll start at the top with the bad news, and then we'll go to the bottom with the good news. So bad news first. Now, in Bitcoin's entire 12-year history, we've spent 99% of the time between the top yellow line and the bottom yellow line. So we basically go inside of this channel. We have a market top at the top of the channel, and then we bottom. And we hang out at this bottom for all sorts of months, creating our base, a healthy base, so that we can have our next market top, which usually happens at the top of the yellow line. And then we come back down over time to the bottom. We have our bear market. We hang out here for quite a while. We build our beautiful market structure, and then we go to the top. And you can see the pattern here. 99.9% of the price action is inside of here. On rare occasions, we will have a candle with the wick that dips below here. By rare occasions, I mean it happened once right here in the 2020 market crash, and it happened a second time right here in 2015. So in our whole history, we had two wicks, literally just two wicks on two monthly candles that dip below here. And we had, for the top, we had our little head peek above here, just briefly. So pretty much every piece of price action happens inside of here. Now, for the bad news, I have to be honest. And if you showed me this chart and you didn't tell me what it was, and you just told me to read this chart like a book, what would I say? And by the way, that's what we do here. I look at the facts in the charts, I read them to you, and you take them as you wish. But if somebody just showed me this chart, because we know Bitcoin is crashing right now, we know there's a lot of blood in the streets, we understand it could get substantially worse according to most, but we want to understand what situation we're in. And if you just showed me this chart and said, hey, this is a 12-year history of something, what does it say? Well, my honest opinion would be that it says that we have beautiful market structure, that we've had fantastic tops, we built beautiful market structure at our bottoms, that almost all of price action falls within here. But with our market cycles, after our cycle in 2018, we started to slow, and we started to hit some turmoil that we hadn't had before, and we started to lose our momentum because we did not top near here, the yellow line. We did not. We actually topped at the line below, the red line. And we had this little blip in the radar as well. So we'll go into more detail in a different video, but our channel believes that this is an A, B, C correction, which is seen at the end of a 5-wave Elliott sequence. We'll get into more of that in a different video. But right now, what you can see is that since our top in 2018, Bitcoin has not acted according to plan. We did not top at our yellow line, and right now, even more so, we're below this yellow line, and we've never had a candle close below this yellow line. It's never happened. We had our wicks we talked about. We had a wick here, we had a wick here. We've never closed as resistance to this yellow line. Now let me break something down to you, because everything in charts is based on support and resistance. literally everything in charts. Every indicator that you can get here on TradingView, any indicator, and these are all my favorites, but any indicator here, and there's thousands, all of them are designed around support and resistance. Plain and simple. Everything is support and resistance. I cannot stress to you enough that Bitcoin has held support on this yellow line for 12 years. Let me repeat that again. 12 years. So I showed you a different chart recently where we had support and resistance. I believe it was this one. Yeah. So we had support for a year and a half here. I told you how critical it was, and I told you when we broke that, we would free fall to our next level of support, which we did. But that's a year and a half of support. This is 12 years. 12 years. Better put, Bitcoin's entire history has held support at this yellow line. We've never, ever, ever broken that support in Bitcoin's entire life until right now. Right now, we have our monthly candle here, which, by the way, hasn't closed yet. We still have, a handful of days, a couple of weeks before this closes officially. But let's be very, very clear. What we're looking at here is major. We would close our first monthly candle as resistance. And by the way, if Bitcoin were to get above 35,000, we would avoid this. But that's highly unlikely as it sits right now. It was even highly unlikely when we were at 30,000 that we would ever get back above here. Now, what this would do is this would change the course of Bitcoin's future, meaning it would be highly probable if Bitcoin were to close below here, which is likely it will, that we would hold some resistance not for 1 or 2 months, but potentially like a year below here. It could happen that way where this changes the course. And keep in mind, since 2018, Bitcoin has changed its course. Bitcoin has lost momentum. We used to be growing at astonishing rates. And obviously over time, we cannot maintain that. But to this regard, having support for 12 years and then breaking it and holding resistance is probably the biggest thing to happen in Bitcoin in years. I don't know why nobody's talking about this, but this is why I wanted to do this video. Now, what's my honest opinion? Do I think we're going to close as resistance? And then how do I think this is going to play out? Well, my honest opinion as it stands now is that we will close as resistance. And my honest opinion is that will cause some havoc in the future. You just don't have a market structure like this where we have 12 years of support and then suddenly we close a candle below and the next candle breaks above and it's all butterflies and rose petals after that. It's just not how charts work. This is going to be a tough level for us to get above in the future. Now, if you fast forward until, for example, December of this year, that yellow line will be at precisely 47,600. The good news is this yellow line is increasing. The bad news is it's likely that we will hold this line as resistance for many months to come. That's my honest opinion. And aside from that, once we gain enough power to break through this, I don't know if we'll ever reach the top yellow line again, given the fact that we've lost our momentum since 2018. And now we're going to lose even more momentum because we're going to have this incredibly strong resistance right above our head that keeps pushing us down, pushing us down. It's not likely we'll ever reach the top again. That's my honest opinion. So we'll see how this progresses. I wanted to bring it to your attention. For the biggest moves in crypto, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next major moves. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs.